ma'am,
And she's
let me,
working on
let me
it.
finish. Actually, the grant wasn't a grant, it was a repayment of a loan from the hospital board, okay? And it completely distorted the numbers so that they were meaningless. What I asked for, and what I talked to Lori about earlier, was revenue to include taxes, business license, permitting, what am I leaving out? Those fines, those things that are direct revenue, grants and repayment of loans is not revenue. So I have not received the comparison revenue data.
Well, you're
Which
going to receive it as soon as she gets it together. You
Okay, well,
requested it, and I have
I
told her.
requested it in April, yes ma'am. Okay, and that's what I'm getting at, okay? Is I get, and I think it behooves all of us to compare where we are versus where we have been in previous years, because we're gonna be budgeting here very shortly, and I don't see that we could sustain a spending pace that we began last year. We went from $270,000 of excess revenue, according to the audit, down to $38,000 at the end of September. And I don't think that we can sustain that, and I think it behooves us as a city government to see where we are, so we know about where we are 6 months into the year, without waiting till the end of the year whenever we get ready to budget. So anyway, that's my comments, okay? And that's all I have.
Yeah.
Oh, just a few comments, Mr. Landers. We are behind on collecting business license. And that's not a fault of ours. That's stubborn, bull-headed businesses not paying. We're talking about turning them over to the same collection service that handles some of our other collection fees to try to get this money collected. We tend about every 3 months fluctuate, Mr. Landers. And we've been down, we're showing some improvement as of recent. And she'll try to get you the report. But we do oscillate, and that's it's nothing to hide, it's just the way it is.
It's nothing new.
You have good months, you have slim months, you turn around and do good again. Our sales tax is looking good right now. And so we're gonna be fine, but you are right. We have got to avoid having unexpected big items that we didn't budget for. And nobody knew we was gonna tear up a fire truck, nobody knew we was gonna have to pour so much revenue into the land. But it happened. And we're coming out the other side of it now. We gotta hope that, we don't have any other.
Point is, a lot of cities around us, including the county, are experiencing very much shortfall in anticipated revenue, and that's what my interest is to see if we follow suit with that.
And in my department, we're already discussing some possible alternatives. Some other towns are already taking offensive actions, and we will have to do the same. And I ain't talking about anything drastic, and it's too early for me to even spit out anything, because I've just been brainstorming. But we're just definitely not going to sit around here and just suffer. I can promise you that.
We've already made some changes at the golf course for savings, so.
Well, we missed the budget so bad last year, and I don't know, was it such a poor job budgeting, or?
Well, what happens is
we had a lot of those unexpected.
The whole-
$100,000 in administrative costs, that's a lot.
the whole concept of us sitting in here and throwing out wish lists is distorted from the get-go. And we're trying to work on a process to just, when she gets everything run, and can come back and say, okay, council, it's projected we'll have X number of excess dollars. And that's all we need to know. We really don't need to start trying to plan on what we're gonna buy, because we don't know. We just need to take it a month at a time. If we've got the funds to go out and do it, we can, but it's far-fetched for all of us to sit in here in September and October and say we're gonna do a $250,000 project without a lot of planning. And getting back to the Civic Center, that thing's been planned and planned, been trying to finesse it for the last 4 years before you guys even come on. And it still hadn't come to fruition yet. So, we just gotta be good stewards, and, you know, my recommendation for the rest of this year is we get by with trying to get the police car, and let's don't try to plan on anything else unless we just have a natural disaster of a hurricane or something come in here and just wipe us out. And I hope we don't have that, you know. We can't control Mother Nature. Mother Nature got us out there, and we didn't foresee us having a wreck in a fire truck, and that got us.
Well, you can't forget all the monies we put into the streets
We
that
have.
collapsed, and we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars.
Streets probably look better now than they've looked in years, and that hadn't come without spending some money. We got more people working for us in the streets than we've ever had, but it's made a big difference. But it costs to keep that up too. But I'll be getting with y'all before long on some ideas.
Jeremy?
While we're on the note of the city's finances and looking at options to minimize some of our spending and allocations for each of our departments, one of the things that come to mind was, and I visited this a few years ago, Joe, before you'd come on and taken over the police department, but it was the idea or notion of workshopping the possibility of pulling the police jurisdiction back to the city limits. I'm still very interested in discussing that and finding out more of the pros and cons and trying to actually put a tabulated amount, if any, we would save in a fiscal year in the police department by doing that.
The problem that I would say, Councilmember, is that